Hello, it's me, Connor. Today, REMP is discussing. Today, we are discussing process of elimination, the CZW show, as well as perhaps the general concept. This show has a bunch of bullshit in it, but as we'll get to, perhaps that's good after all. We also cover a special match, a bonus match, and I'll have you know, within this episode, I've created a brand new jingle for such an occasion when we cover a bonus match, so watch it for that. So yeah, this is a good show. The 15th WrestleMania was pretty bad, but I don't think this holds for the 15th REMP. I think it'll be very good. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. And so, it's gonna be a good time. Gonna be Ah! Ah!
What I did last night. I came home, say around 2:45, still so high, hypnotized in a trance.
Process of elimination. How do you think that factors into the things here?
There's an elimination match, which is the least notable match on this card. I can only assume that is what inspired the title of the show. Process of elimination.
Process of elimination. Lobo! So, it doesn't actually open with Lobo. We get a show opening in the CZW, not the CZW arena, but a CZW arena. An arena which will
they're still in Pennsylvania, but they've moved to Westchester. Stricker didn't
it's a nice wee intimate place, isn't it?
I think I prefer the usual setting, but it's not a bad change. Although I don't know what this arena calls because Stricker neglected to tell me.
No.
He just wouldn't inform me what this place is called. Try to be nice to the guy. I got you to apologise to because I thought you got the CZW title change wrong. I still don't know what's going on. What happened with Jerry Lynn? And it's like we need answers, people. We need answers.
Okay, there's the point where commentary goes, Justice Payne, he has beaten all his challengers. He lost that one non-title match against Jerry Lynn. And, Eva, I have no reason to lie to you. I have no reason to deceive anyone. I saw Jerry Lynn hold up the belt so as to suggest that he had won it.
I don't know what to say. Just baffled.
Sometimes I don't know what to say either. But I do know what to say about what's going on here, because the show opens up and, it's Justice Payne. He comes out and Eric, he says, I do not see him on our forehead sheets. So, Eric, he's just not got a hang of this. He's not got a hang of, actually having a fucking format. What, does he even have a format, do you think? Or is he just being a fucking bluffer about it?
Yeah, I reckon it's bluffing. Zandig doesn't feel like a format guy.
Yeah, now Zandig's gone. We don't even know the extent to which Lobo doesn't have formats.
Zandig is gone forever.
So Trent Seven is out with Justice Payne. It's Trent Seven, Steve Rives. We get a fucking spelling of his name, Steve Rives with a Z.
You just said Trent Seven,
as well as.
Okay,
hello everyone. Welcome to REMP 15. We're starting now. Hey, Trent Acid.
Now, motherfucker, you said Trent 7. That's staying in. I was like, wait, Trent 7 came out? What? Did I miss this?
I don't even watch the Graps. I don't watch NXT UK. What could have possibly got that in my veins? Anyway, Trent Acid. Trent Acid's there with Johnny Casimiro and Steve Rives.
Johnny Gargano and Steve Gray. That's the first wrestling Steve I thought of.
Trent Acid is out here with Justice Payne, but this goes against what Lobo said, because he said they're going to be fighting for a title. What's going on here? Maybe they swerved everybody. So they get to talking, right? And because it's a tiny venue, that means it's a clearer promo, and that's good. Trent, he seems somber, In the past, we've seen him, be quite animated and be like a cheeky boy, but here, I don't know. It seems like he's conflicted. He's thinking about stuff.
The boss, the Lobo, comes out in shades and a leather jacket. He's not what you'd envision when you'd think of here's a heel authority figure who won the rights to the company in questionable ways. He's kind of calm, and it's quite strange.
That's the weird thing. He's like stern, but he's well spoken and he's reasonable about things. It's like, okay, so the whole thing is that Justice Payne is basically saying that title match that Lobo scheduled, I don't want to do it. And Trent Acid, he doesn't want to do it either. And then Trent is like, yeah, I guess. And so, then it's just like, they hold all the cards. It's sort of like TNA, like the champs hold the power, and the power is just some sort of fake thing that they allude to. And then Lobo comes out, and it is really strange because similar to last time, you'd think he'd be a heel guy, but he's not. He just seems like a guy who would, like, I don't know, legit be a manager, like run a fucking department store or something, It seems like he just like legitimately cares about this going off, but also sometimes there'll be like heel stuff. But here, what happens is that he says, I would expect this from Justice Payne, that crybaby, but Trent Acid, I'm surprised in you. You can beat this guy. Come on now. And, so eventually Trent Acid, he sort of goes like, oh, well, I guess I really do want that title shot. Zandig never gave me a title shot, but Lobo did. And so then after that, like, he sort of like goes up to Justice Payne, and then like, and then he decides, yeah, I'll take your title shot. And Justice Payne does his face like, oh, aye. No bother, mate. No fucking bother. Him and Steve Rives leave, and Steve Rive, you can hear him just say, it wasn't a smart move, dude. And I can believe it. So, yeah. What do you think of this?
I didn't take immediate issue with it. We'll get to why I would retrospectively take issue with it later. Okay, we've got an unusual main event. Justice Payne and Trent Acid for the CZW heavyweight title that's been booked here.
When you think about how like something like Nick Mondo versus Justice Payne was considered a dream match as such, a match that was long anticipated, do you feel the same vibe for Trent Acid versus Justice Payne?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I guess there was anticipation built up for Mondo versus Justice Payne, but I would probably struggle to call that a dream match in the traditional sense.
Just thinking about how, like, they do sort of hype this up as a heavy versus junior thing, so I wonder if, like, in the eyes of the crowd, that sort of succeeded in, like, having that sort of vibe to it. I don't know. Did you like Lobo's look?
Lobo's what, sorry?
His fit, his fashion on this day.
Yeah, he's drastically changing up his outfits every time. Like, first time he was in a suit, and then he just opted for, like, fucking shit baggy ass jeans. Now it's a cool guy. He's wearing a leather jacket,
an Adidas shirt under a leather jacket, and like, look, when I heard Lobo's theme music, I thought, okay, here comes the boss, and then I saw it, I was like, ah, because he looks so cool. and then Eric, always like the spoil sport. He's like, looks like the Fonz. So, that's whatever. Okay, Eric, you have a right to your opinion, motherfucker. So, yeah, and then we get to a interesting thing, because Best of the Best 2 is coming up, but it's no longer called that, is it, Eva?
It's a strange thing. Commentary call it Best of the Best 2, and the DVD will be fucking called Best of the Best 2. But for some reason, Lobo just insists on calling it my junior heavyweight tournament.
Yeah, it's the Lobo Junior Heavyweight Invitational, LJHI, which sounds like one of those personality things. This is like the only day that's ever actually an idea. They just go with best of the best too, otherwise.
Yeah, it was a confusing element running through the show. For some reason, they're not just saying best of the best. The only explanation I can come up with is that they want to put over it that it's for junior heavyweights.
I suppose so. Rather than just like, best could mean anything,
Yeah.
I suppose. So we've got here a first of a couple matches, which is meant to serve as a scouting thing for Lobo. If you win, if you lose, it is irrelevant to Lobo. He just wants to see what you can do. So here is a freeway with 3 junior heavyweights who apparently travelled a long way to come to CZW. It's Jason Extreme versus Loco versus The Menace. And
An elimination match. Menace is the only one of these guys with a profile on Strigger.com. Apparently he started working in 1987 and does modern IWA Mid-South shows.
Yeah, I saw that like his second latest match he had was like for the IWA Mid-South title against Congo Kong, I think it was.
Wow,
So,
I wonder if he'll be on IWA Mid-South Everybody Welcome.
You never know.
If anybody knows whether that will ever be online everywhere, please send it to me. We need to watch IWA Mid-South Everybody Welcome with the rainbow flag poster. Even Rotten's woke now.
Everybody welcome, including menaces.
And even the gays.
So,
the best part of that was his Ian's girlfriend, Misty Rotten, saying, IWA has always been an inclusive environment. And hey, listen, we're the people watching this stuff like right now, covering it. No, it fucking hasn't.
what I really loved from that was how, like, in that post, she was like, IWA has always been a place for everyone. We love all of ya. Non-specifically. Ian Rotten.
What a fucking thing to happen.
Just when you think you've got all the asses, Ian Rotten changes the questions.
And he ends homophobia.
So, Loco, he seems cool. Well, okay, we'll start with Mez because he's the one with a cage match profile. He's got like the sort of like, unlicensed Hayabusa look. And it looks cool enough. He's quite a tall guy.
Yeah, way taller than the other guys.
Yeah, and so like he's very lanky and whatnot. And then Loco, this guy like, I don't know if the name seems fitting. He doesn't seem like that crazy a guy. He's just like, he looks like a baby, except ugly. Yeah. So then Jason Extreme, like I don't know about him. Like they immediately flip him off in the crowd, and he just like flips him off back. Then John, he's like, "This kid weighs 180 pounds, Eric." And then Eric goes, "It's a junior heavyweight invitational, stupid." So that's beautiful. And so
the depth of Lobo's search for the world's best junior heavyweight knows no bounds.
yeah, he okay. Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe, these guys who are in, like one of the breakout matches in that
Fuck
tournament.
those guys.
Like they're both guys who there's no room for you in this tournament. Lobo says so because he's too busy scouting Loco.
I wonder if Lobo's like, I like this Loco guy. He reminds me of myself. He reminds me of myself, but slightly different.
I really hope so. What do you think Lobo means as a name?
I've never given that a thought. I could not possibly. Well, okay. What comes up if I just Google Lobo with nothing like else?
Let's see.
No, not fucking Yahoo. God damn it, my mum's laptop. I don't trust you, Yahoo. Well, the first suggestion is lobotomy. So I'm going to assume that's what it is. There's apparently a character in the DC Comics universe named Lobo.
For my part, I went to Google Translate and I put Lobo into detect language, and it's not come up as anything other than English, but it does give a definition of Southwestern American and Mexico timberwolf species. So
yeah,
there
between
we go.
those three things, like, either it's a DC comic thing, or it's that, or lobotomy.
That's what happens when Dreamer comes over and they team up. That's their team name, Lobotomy. I mentioned that this Menace guy, he's really tall, and that's because there's a point in this match where he gets back body dropped by both Loco and Jason Extreme, and he just kind of fucks it up because his his legs were halfway out the ring by the time he falls down. It's great.
Jason Extreme, he hits a big moonsault to the outside and seems to take all the landing on his knees. And Hitman says, "That was an extremely nice moonsault, Eric."
The moonsault is fucked up, and then basically Loco does a dive, and then Menace does a dive, and then all throughout all throughout, Eric's just calling it, it's oh, another dive, and then after Menace does dive, he just goes, "What do you say, something, house? Am I doing this commentary on my own?" It's fucked up.
Did you make note of Menace hitting a move called the Stuplex?
The Stuplex, that's right, yeah.
The Stuplex.
What was the Stuplex again? I forget, actually. Is it just the reverse
I can't
Suplex?
remember. I just wrote Stuplex in all caps.
Stuplex. The Stuplex. Yes, it's good. It's good. Speaking of contextless notes, I also have down here a commentary just says, "That was extremely stupid."
Hitman, he keeps wanting to deliver extreme puns, but he's he's beginning to malfunction at this stage. He's like, "That was an extremely beautiful little egg sweep, Eric." He's just fucking breaking before us at this point.
He's trying too hard. Yeah, I suppose you can't fault him. I'll tell you what is stupid though, is they break up pins and here this elimination match. Even Z-Barr, Barcam and Crystals didn't do this. What the heck?
Well, to be fair, didn't Barcam, he got eliminated in a minute. so there's no
exactly.
There's no opportunity for them to They probably would have done that if all three of them were in the match for an extended amount of time. Because you can't trust those guys. Brilliant stuff.
I really,
that's the one
enjoying...
thing I'd as a pro. If I was okay, elimination freeway. If I was to book that, then I'd go, all right, elimination match. So just make sure that you don't break anything up, okay? Yeah. Just remember, you want people to get eliminated. I don't know. It just happens a weird amount.
Yeah. Do you know what the cherry popper was?
Oh, the cherry popper. Yeah, it's where Loco, he pretends to fuck you up the bum on the top rope, and then he does a German suplex.
Yeah. Oh,
it's the first bit is Road Dogg doing the pump handle slam where he bums you for a couple seconds.
Yeah, he bums you, except off the top rope, so it's
cool. Oh my god! Top rope bumming! A super bum.
This is sort of when Paige did her submission on a table and they're like, "Oh my god, not on this announce table." can't believe like you're fucking me on the steel steps. It's twisted. So again, there's a bunch of fucking bullshit here, where like they break up each other's pins and all that. But even still, I'm liking this match. Loco, he gets a chair and he just like slots it into the corner. It seems okay. He's got a plan. Then Menace, like he tries doing a fancy Yave. He's got his arm. He's gonna like do some rotation shit. He's got to press him up, but he just kind of then falls down and holds them, and then gives up. So then after that, Jason Extreme, he's dead. Somewhere along the line, he died.
Rip.
Yeah. Rip. And then so then Menace, he goes for the kamikaze, which is just the Van Daminator, or if you are, heavier, the Poetic Ruckus. 18-foot distance. It's really impressive. He doesn't do like the coast to coast. He just like goes straight up to like the opposite side of the ring, and that's cool. And so Menace wins, and I like this match. It was cool.
It could be worse for sure in terms of like what you would probably expect from like them just throwing some random anybody's into a triple threat elimination match. It definitely could have been worse. I did think it sort of went on a bit for me. I don't know, but maybe that's like bias because I don't know any of these guys, so it's like no, I don't know.
Probably like a good amount of reason why we like the CZW guys we like is because we've been with them for a long time, so we kind of know them a bit more. Meanwhile, these guys, they just sort of like are just doing first impressions.
Yeah.
So yeah, with this in mind, it was a nice little opening match. This getting used to this TCW bullshit style of doing things, and hopefully we see this Menace guy and the best of the best too, aka LJHI, one. Man, that'd be fucked up. It'd be the first World Junior Invitational, but the second best of the best. Man, this company's going to the dogs.
I'm just gonna look up if Menace does actually come back.
You can learn, but don't tell me.
Okay, I'll learn. Okay, I've learned.
Wow. This is suspense. It has killed me. I'm dead. So, speaking of things that killed me, wow. Once again, the Smart Mark video setup has, really given me something to just like shock my system. It was this match graphic for the next match. So, VD and Ian Knox. Okay, that's fine enough. Stalwarts of the CCW undercard. That's fine. Chris Cash and GQ. New School. I'm down with a New School, Eva. That's fine.
We're all down with a New School.
Their partner. Who is their partner?
Probably, out of all the rebels I know, this guy would have to be the most rockin' guy.
The most rockin' rebel of all. The guy who murdered his wife and then himself, and is here now wrestling.
You truly love to see it. Like, okay, I'm someone who watches quite a lot of retrospectively, obviously because he's not fucking here now. Chris Benoit, I watch him plenty, like quite often. He's great at what he does. So you can disconnect from what he would end up doing. Sometimes, not all the time, especially when he like does a CTE special or something. But
No.
Rockin' Rebel, there's nothing else to think about other than just the fact that he did this shit.
Yeah, he killed his wife and then himself. It's weird the way you say that, because it's sort of like, like we watched this Rockin' Rebel match waiting for him to pull off a thing which could be like, oh, I guess Rockin' Rebel's good. But then like he does a bad match and then we're like, kill his wife anyway, I don't care. Rebel and New School and a teacher, as it were, they come out. This is our first ever Rockin' Rebel match that we see here on the REMP, and what match it is. Chris Cash, he has to time his entrance to the theme of the Rockin' Rebel, and he excels. He just still does his bullshit, and then they all get in the ring. Eric says that Rebel's never met a microphone he didn't like, and I suppose that's true, because, my God, he's got a microphone right now and he's talking. And you know how I mentioned that the venue is small so you can actually hear people? Somehow Rockin' Rebels manages to defy this, and he's just utterly inaudible.
I couldn't really make out much of it, but he brings out a new manager for Chris Cash and GQ, and this dude called Pastor Jim comes out. Not like pastor as in food, but you know, pastor's in like he's a fucking Christian. Imagine this dude was just like he had a pastor going.
I had no issue with like the definition of pastor. I didn't realize until you said it that this could be misconstrued as lasagna.
This guy just loves his pasta. Comes out with a big shirt with all like pasta stains on it.
Okay, so Faster Jim comes out, right? Okay, he has this big theme music, and he comes out. He's got this shiny silver shirt on, and it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
now everybody's favourite creator wrestler's template, Ian Knox, comes out, and he does superstar pose 001.
Yeah, he's been through like week 3 of career mode, so now he can afford a purple streak in his pants. So that's great for him. I love it. Okay, so VD are all smiles about this because, you know, they must just be like, you know, oh, like Rockin' Rebel, this guy's hilarious or something like that, right? And then they clean house, clear the ring, and then Rockin' Rebel, his whole thing is that he is all like, oh, I am tired, I need a break and water and whatnot. And then, like, you know, there's this is fellow who, you know, protests, you know, and like Rockin' Rebel grabs him again and says, "Shut up, you fat piece of crap." And then like I don't think it's this, but I did like mishear it initially because I thought that Rockin' Rebel said, I will be in better shape than you when I am 60. And I don't know who's going to tell Rockin' Rebel this, but he's not going to live to be 60.
Yeah.
So after this, Chris Cash, he starts massaging Rockin' Rebel to ease his woes. And, you know, then Eric, and his trademark, you know, cynical tone, he wonders, is that massage full service? The joke that Eric is making is that he's wondering if Chris Cash is going to jerk off Rockin' Rebel.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, I get it too. I had to do a lot of research, but I got it.
There's a bit where I think Carduno says that Rebel is the hardest shopper in the business.
He does! Why?
Last one show, I think it was the Ring of Honor debut. He mixed up Kobashi and Misawa. Now he's mixing up Kobashi and Rockin' Rebel.
I used to think Misawa was the hardest chopper, but this Rockin' Rebel guy, forget about it. This match, I don't know, it's okay, isn't it?
I wrote that it's not very good, but like, I'm gonna be honest, my memory's shot of this match. I'm just going straight off my notes.
Well, I remember a pivotal point in the match wherein Rockin' Rebel is in. I think it's against Ian Knox he's in with, and like, you know, he whips Ian off the ropes and he does a drop kick. It looks terrible, and then he goes for a pin off it, and he's like, hey yo, you know, like that. And then John is saying how, you know, like look at the athleticism of Rock and Rebel. He could be a luchador, right? And then Eric, he just goes, a luchador? What, El Stupido? And I was like, wow. Just fucking... Oh, man. Eric, love you, baby. VD, they basically do the thing that they did last time, where they, just like destroyed the new school, and to an extent destroy Rock and Rebel too, just like palm strikes and double doomsdays and all that. But then they leave it to Ian Knox, it's the old thing. Oh, I'm just gonna leave it to you, rookie. And then, they bring him a barbed wire board with which to destroy Rock and Rebel, to just massacre him. And they set on some chairs, and then they go off somewhere, and then, he's gonna do like something or other on it. But then Rock and Rebel, he recovers and does a fucking fireball. Oh no.
Yes. He somehow gets a fireball to materialize in front of Knox's face. The old school Memphis thing.
It's just fucked up. We thought he was just a rebel, but now he's a magician too. The capability of the Rock and Rebel, outside of our reach, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly capable of things, huh?
Wow. Referring to the circumstances of his gruesome death. Amazing. I did remember just there as well. I did remember there well that the whole thing is that Ian, he tries to do his finisher to Rock and Rebel through the boards, right? Lifts him up, and then Rock and Rebel just sandbags him completely. And I suppose given the finish, it was meant to happen. But the way he did it just made it look he was like a big piece of shit and thus couldn't go up. So, yeah, after all this time of, thinking, man, Rock and Rebel, he seems like a bad person. It seems as if the circumstances on which he's on his shows are, bullshit. He must be a bad wrestler. And then I get confirmation that, yeah, he sucks.
I don't know how, prominent he'll be going forward. But he's going to be, semi-relevant for a long time, at least. In Ring of Honor, I think he only does dark matches, because Gabe's like, I'm not fucking putting this on the tape. But, he forces Gabe's hand or whatever, so just book him.
Aye. Lobo, meanwhile, he's just, beholden to this Rock and Rebel. It's unbelievable. Then, we get to a match which I thought was brilliant. It's Nick Burke. He comes out, and he's got new hair. Do you like his new hair?
It's an interesting decision. He's bleached his hair and beard.
Aye. What's interesting about this is that, during this time, Eric, as we know, he's been a very vocal critic of the Z-Barr. Always calling him ugly, make me want to vomit, etc. But now, he says that perhaps Nick Burke is holding back Z-Barr. Z-Barr is ready to break out. And I don't know about this sudden change of heart, Eva. It seems to hint that perhaps a storyline progression is going to happen in this match. I don't know. But in any case, Z-Barr comes here. He's out. He's there. Eric, he says he's fucking wearing a shirt curtain again. And then Z-Barr and Nick Burke, they banter a bunch. Turns out they are scheduled for the second elimination match of the night. It's them against each other, as well as the Hurricane Kids.
The Hurricane Kids gained about £1.25. And at the start of this, it's effectively treated as a handicap match against him.
Yeah.
Hurricane Kid actually has a similar shtick going on to the Hurricane himself, where he apparently thinks that he's really big
that's
and
a good
he
point.
can do a chokeslam.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's an interesting dynamic in this match wherein Hurricane Kid, he's obviously outnumbered by his two. He isn't able to touch Nick Burke, but he can out wrestle Z-Barr. He has a fighting chance here. John House, he's been quite sympathetic to the softcore connection, but he calls them dummies. Just as a matter of fact, you agree with me, and then Eric agrees because he's the graduate for being stupid. He's really he's really feeling sassy today. Fucking sassy Eric Gonzalo. Give it to me. Wow.
at one point, one lone person in the crowd shouts, "We want Thai Street!"
Yeah, they do.
And nobody shared this sentiment.
Once again,
This person does not speak for everybody in the room. He wants Thai Street.
Thai Street once again, after being established as an existing person, he's once again just put into the ether, isn't he?
Yeah. What happened to Thai Street?
That's not Thai Street. Just what is Thai Street then? We no longer know.
What a mystery. Hurricane Kid, he hits his rolling kamikaze move on Burke. But then he gets fucking creamed with a chair shot from Z-Barr. And he's pinned with 1 foot.
This is probably the best, like, single thing that Z-Barr's ever done in his career. This was so good.
Yeah, it was a hell of a chair shot.
Aye, and then that tears it, because now that, Nick Burke and Z-Barr are alone, Z-Barr apparently said that, it's okay, Nick Burke, I will give you the win. But now, don't know about that, because Nick Burke, he's very mad that the softcore code of honor was broken. Because you see, softcore means that you can't be hardcore, you can't use weapons. Why did you use weapons in the goddamn match, Z-Barr? And he's like, yo, my wrestling skills is softcore, but everything else, including this, ho 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 ho, he does a gyration, that's hardcore. And then Nick Burke, he's just like mad about it, and then they start just like, basically a breakup, the softcore connection breakup, and they like Z-Barr, he calls Nick Burke Blue Rooster because of his new hair. It attracts like much shock and oh from the crowds.
Burke replied, "Yeah, well, you're fat."
Does he say that? Yeah. Oh, wow! It's all coming to a head now. Jesus. So yeah, I came to Havoc versus Ospreay. They come up with a stipulation in the middle of the match. It's an apuestas match. Softcore connection rates versus softcore connection rates. The guy who wins keeps the t-shirt and the loyalty freeze and whatnot, and the other guy has just to be like someone else. So this is a big match this suddenly becomes, and I really liked it from this point on. I mean, I liked the triple threat obviously, but like this here was a really good match.
Fair enough. I guess you liked it a bit more than me. I thought it was decent enough. I didn't need another elimination freeway, but I guess they wanted to show process of elimination for some reason, so we needed that
is true. That fit with a female title. Yeah, this is said to be a mirror match because obviously they'll know each other a lot, and there's some point where a guy, like, there's a lot of hecklers today. The guy yells, "Percocet, please, I'm begging you."
That's a hell of a heckle. I'm begging you.
Don't you worry, my little summer child. Soon you'll be satisfied. Z-Barr donkey punches Nick Burke, and then there's a lot of like moves going on. Z-Barr screams a lot during them. The way he does.
Hitman says, "Is that the first time Nick Burke has ever taken a donkey punch?" Godula says, "Something tells me it's not."
Now, we must once more look at what exactly this entails. Eric Gargiulo is saying that once upon a time before this, Nick Burke has been receiving sexual intercourse, perhaps in his ass, and during this time he has been punched in the head.
2002.
2002. And then the fucking... What is it? The missionary driver. What's the missionary driver again? It's the tiger driver!
Oh.
Z-Barr's tiger driver is called the missionary driver. It's fucked up.
Is it because it's softcore? Oh, I get it now.
Because it's softcore. And then, Nick Burke.
Vanilla. He only likes vanilla sex. Whereas Nick Burke just wants to be fucking destroyed.
Nick Burke, he fucking takes up. He takes a Percocet before he fucks, and that says all about him, I suppose. So he hits the Burke driver on Z-Barr, and then Z-Barr kicks out, And everyone's like quite amazed. Eric and John are both like, "Wow, can you believe Z-Barr did that?" And it's a pretty impressive thing. Z-Barr, a very ineffectual wrestler, but in this time of like struggle, in this time of pride, he can pull it out. He can like persevere. But then this like nice wee counter sequence happens where eventually Nick Burke hits the Percocet. Eric says, "Percocet, take one and call me in the morning." So I suppose I will do that. So now
send him another email so he can fucking ignore us again. Did you? Did
Nick
you know?
Burke went.
Godula says Z-Barr, of course, has the honor of being the only wrestler to be censored on Samurai TV over in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know, then I don't know.
Yeah, so like, does that mean like he showed off like chud on TV and they had to censor it?
You know what? I should have done this before the episode. I'm just gonna try and Google see if anything comes up like
Yeah.
Z-Barr Samurai type TV. Okay. Z-Barr is the
Did it
only
come up
wrestler.
anything?
Yeah, Z-Barr is the only wrestler ever to be censored on Japanese Samurai TV for calling a referee a cocksucker in Japanese.
Wow, he learned that word, and then they just
Apparently
didn't show
so.
it.
Apparently so.
Wow, that's fucked
Too
up.
hot for Samurai TV.
Quite
Z-Barr.
Samurai TV.
What an amazing little
Wow.
factoid that is.
This too is not softcore. He called the referee a cocksucker. That's not. That's hardcore stuff. You have to pay extra for that. Nick Burke is not interested in this bullshit, so that's why Z-Barr is no longer softcore.
Oh, do you reckon?
Nick Burke is the softcore.
Do you reckon? Because we looked at Z-Bar's Big Japan matches, and like he like won maybe like the first one, and then lost all the others, and then didn't do many other things on the rest of the tour. So like,
Yes.
I reckon he got heat for that, and I wonder if like the Big Japan CZW relationship is on the rocks now. You never know.
Because of Z-Barr.
Yeah.
Man,
learning
that'd
the
be
word
fucked up.
cocksucker in Japanese, like, yeah, this would be brilliant. And fucking destroys like the entire working relationship of two promotions.
He fought to do this and he didn't tell anyone about it until it came out of his mouth. Oh, Z-Barr.
Full of
Oh man,
surprises.
love it. Man, I had a look there at my usual tape trader website, and they don't have BGW from 2002 at all. So I think I might have to, look
Mr.
at
Lynch.
Lynch's old fucking PDF. It's monstrous as shit. I'll have to see if I can navigate my way through it, like the swamp that it is.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
If I can find some 2002 BGW.
I was like,
I'll do it for
there's a
Z-Barr.
definitive list of all the stuff he's got, and then I saw the way it was done, like just
It's all fucking just
Yeah,
scans,
just scans.
of
can't- you can't control an F
typewriter
anything.
shit. You can't control F anything. You just have to keep. It's terrible. So Ty Street is unpersoned, and now Nick Burke himself is the softcore connection. He is the connection, and it's great. This was a match that it really had its charm because I've like grown attached to the softcore connection. Like all three guys, they're quite weird and charming, and Nick Burke, he has this. I'm sure I've mentioned it before. He has a strange thing of like, even though like he's goofy and all that, he's like still good in a way. Like he still tries,
yeah.
And I think that comes across like, and it came across in this match because it was very good. And who knows what Z-Barr is going to be doing? But definitely will not be calling anybody cocksuckers except maybe himself. And now Hurricane Kid. I'd like to see what he does now because he actually did sort of look good in the time that he was in this match. Maybe one day he will bulk up. Perhaps he is bound to this fucking comedy gimmick forever. The joys of being CCW, where it is sports entertainment and chicanery is allowed.
Yes. We love chicaner.
Kane.
We get a match graphic that it's labelled DJ Sick and Hellstorm versus the Hardcore Ninjas. And I had to screen cap that and post it because I was like, DJ Sick, Hellstorm, the Hardcore Ninjas? This is the best match ever. just at the graphic. Obviously, I didn't know anything about these guys. We'll touch on a notorious Hellstorm match. It's got some cult following. After we cover what is... Alright, first, let's touch on what DJ Sick and Hellstorm look like.
DJ Sick is the guy with the gas mask, right?
Yes, yeah. He's got like a tube coming from the center of it. It makes it look like an elephant trunk. This guy...
That's the gas mask they were during, like, kinky sex. Unbelievable.
This guy is fucking twisted with a capital Z.
His shirt, like, I remember you saying that, like, it was some sort of like Chinese characters, and as far as I can see, it was the characters for tree, wind, and fire. Now, this makes no sense, right? It's like a combination of symbols.
It's very white person on holiday tattoo.
It's very white person on holiday tattoo. I think what they were going for was they were trying to do earth, wind, and fire. But tree is tree. It goes in the ground, but it's not the ground. So DJ Sick fucked up, you know. He really is sick in the head, and I already like don't know about this guy. It's crazy. And then Hellstorm. Tell me about Hellstorm.
Hellstorm, he looks like comparatively normal. You'd think like another crazy guy would be accompanying DJ Sick, but this guy just kind of looks kind of gormless almost. You know, like he picks his nose in public and eats it.
Yeah, you described him as a mouth breather, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite apt. And then the Hardcore Ninjas. So the DJ Sick and Hellstorm, they're a Quebec new breed. Hardcore Ninjas, they're from Montreal. We're looking at an international war here, Eric says, but it's only one nation involved, so it's more like civil war. But anyway, the Hardcore Ninjas, they both look similar, but the way you can tell them apart is that the second Hardcore Ninja has a symbol of Japanese imperialism on him. The first one does not.
The woke one.
The woke Hardcore Ninja.
and the fascist Hardcore Ninja. And they're forever just hanging out, being best friends.
It's really like, you know, what timing for us to see this in the time where we constantly talk of Ellen and George Bush. So you mentioned that Lobo comes out here, and I think it's because he made a slight mistake. What is this mistake that our great leaders made?
I don't know what mistake he's made, but Hitman says, "He's the boss! Look, Eric, he's got glasses on!" But
you know what that means?
But yeah, what mistake has he made?
Well, he admits this himself, because he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Hardcore Ninjas. You're not needed for this match. You can go. DJ Second Hellstorm, you're going to fight now." Yeah, so that's why it turns into a singles match between them two.
Yeah, I wrote that he changes it on a whim, like he just changed his mind. It's like, actually, I don't want a tag match now. I want two singles matches. I want these two teams to just fucking flip flopping. That's what I thought, but you could also interpret it as a mistake, like, oh shit, I must have formatted it wrong.
It's funny to me because I didn't like even think of it as like him. Like when he said it, I thought that it was just like, you know, DJ Second Hellstorm, they're meant to be in this match. Hardcore Ninjas, why do you even make a trip? They weren't meant to be here. But then it turns out that they also have a singles match, so who knows? This match is pretty fucking weird and cool. What did you think of it?
I thought about the same. Like, yeah, weird and cool. I think we're gonna see like a lot more guys like this, just popping up. Shindy dudes tied to some local promotion. This is what this era of CZW is like, and the years to come are sort of known for in the undercards and stuff.
It's a good staple to have in the undercards, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean they're all quite endearing, you know.
Yeah.
The bin bag pants are awesome. Fuck it.
Yeah, trash rag pants. I love those.
Yeah.
There's some weird offense here, and perhaps the weirdest one is when similar to the sort of lack of self-regards that we'll see from Hellstorm, he just decides, like, let's participate Eddie Frankensteiner to the floor. Wow.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw this being set up? Did you think it was going to be a Frankensteiner to the floor?
No, I definitely didn't. It did perk the crowd right up, because until that point, the most interesting part of it was that it contains a guy named DJ Sick. I was, like, really obsessing over this guy, DJ Sick. Little did I know that he's not.
Little did you know.
He's not the most notable guy in this match, by far.
It's too true. Though I sort of figured this out a bit earlier than you, because I saw that Hellstorm's finisher. Do you know what it's called?
No.
It's called the Hellstorm.
Wow.
Yep. Self-titled finisher.
There's John Cena with the John Cena.
I'm trying to think if he actually does that. It's Evil. He does that. His STO is called Evil. Yeah. So Hellstorm and Evil. It's only demons who do this. So I suppose John Cena doesn't qualify for it too. So then they go for a table spot, and then the bell rings, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? Is this like a if they watched Daphne versus Seth Rollins, and so they've decided, we're gonna do a no contest just like them, but no, they just come out again.
Yeah, it was a strange finish, but the match was wacky enough to be enjoyable, definitely. Cardule says, "What kind of impression do you think they made on Lobo?" And then Hitman just completely ignores the question. He just didn't say anything.
Yeah, I remember that. And then the reason that the Ninjas are out here, well, of course they have their singles match, but it's for higher purposes. Because, you see, if they start beating up Hellstorm, then the three of them together will construct a nice, soft landing point for someone who's perhaps diving off of a 20 feet surface. Funnily enough, DJ Sick decides that he's going to climb up to the balcony and dive off it onto them.
So that's what he does. Like, that was DJ Sick, mate.
Yeah, it was DJ Sick. He lived up to his name, and it's fucking great. Yeah, a no finish, but a big spot.
Honestly, like,
and
these
then,
are clearly like guys they're given like a tryout to, like Canadian tryouts. That's a hell of a spot to get a guy like that to do.
Yeah, totally. As in, even if like you're not going to pick them up, you can at least count on them to just like be able to break themselves without being too liable, because he'll be okay.
Yeah, because he didn't have a cage match. I didn't get to check whether DJ Sick ever comes back to CZW. But if I was to guess, I would say
I was going to say that he maybe take a sick day off, but hell, given the way he conducts himself, I think this is a sick day. This guy's crazy.
So, before we get to Hardcore Ninja number 1 versus Hardcore Ninja number 2, let's get to a little bonus match. It's one of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. And ever since I discovered it, couldn't wait to talk about this. It's a ladder match for the EWR Championship, an actual promotion named EWR.
Yeah.
In Quebec, Canada. Crazy Crush of a current champion against Hellstorm. The show is called Brutal Carnage, and fucking hell, it delivered on that. When I took the screen cap of the match graphic for DJ Sick and Hellstorm versus the Hardcore Ninjas, I posted it in group DM like, haha, look at these crazy names. I was informed of an excellent review. Eric of Segunda Caída blog wrote of this match a couple of years ago. I only skimmed part of this because I knew, from what I read, I knew I wanted to watch this and probably talk about it on the show, because I figured Hellstorm, he's not going to come back. We're not going to do a best of Hellstorm compilation. So I thought, why not? Why not just talk about this match that was worthy of this review?
Yes.
Mainly skimmed it so as to not spoil too much of it for myself. The gist of it was that it was so like endearingly stupid and enjoyable that it was basically entirely critic-proof. I expected like a fun, sloppy ladder match with some dumb bumps and some charm that only like shit local indies can produce, you know. I've seen a few of those in my life. Thought that maybe they'd pepper in one of those crazy Kevin Steen bumps, you know, where he bumps on the ladder that's on like his side. But that's some pussy shit compared to what we saw. They took me to another world here. My first impression of this dude, Crazy Crusher, was that he looks pretty tiny to me, like quite unimposing, wouldn't you say?
Right.
Start off with a nice firm collar and elbow. Takes them out the ring before they jostle around, before quickly getting the ladders into play. And I'm like, alright, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Crusher takes the ladder and runs all the way down the ramp to clutter Hellstorm with it. That was pretty cool.
It was a joust, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was actually. And then he hits a crossbody off the ladders, but he like really splays his body out, so that I thought he was gonna go for like a swanton bomb and like fucking Isaiah himself. Everything's, you know, fine at this point.
At this point.
There's a cool bit where Chris kicks a non-foldable plastic chair into Hellstorm's face. Like, these are the sort of chairs that would be out in like assembly for my school.
Aye.
And something that's very rare in indie ladder matches, that at least I've seen, is that there's more than one ladder out there. I wrote that there was 2 in this little note, but then I later discovered they've got 3.
As in an indie ladder match, you find that to be unusual?
Yeah, because obviously WWE is like the Money in the Bank, where they've got about 80 out there. They even have like those fucking really massive ones that nearly touch the ceiling that are just there for decoration.
Yeah.
It's like they're just showing off, like, oh, look how many ladders we've got. We're so rich.
And these ladders are strong, aren't they?
Yeah, this random ass Quebec indie is shelled out on 3 sturdy ass ladders, and they had to be sturdy, otherwise somebody would probably be fucking paralysed. We start ramping it up now. One ladder's like leant up against the ring post on the outside. Crazy Crusher Irish whips Hellstorm into it, but he scrambles his way up onto the top rope, leaps across the ladder in the middle of the ring, but it's quickly cut off, and it looks like reckless and cool. In these edits, they really they scramble their way up these ladders, and it adds to the spectacle when they just get cut off and eat shit. And that's the way it should probably go. Like, early in the match, you've not taken too much. You want to get up there quickly. That's kind of like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would say this is next up a spot that actually made me go, oh my god, but it's nothing compared to what we see later. But it did receive an oh my god reaction. Hellstorm fucking pile drives Crazy Crusher from 3/4 of the way up the ladder onto the fucking top turnbuckle.
Yeah, it's gnarly. Yeah,
they both go tumbling to the outside. Incredibly fucking stupid. I loved it. There's another really scary cut off. The actual bump that Hellstorm takes from it is not so bad, but it's swayed like Crazy Crusher tips this ladder and it like balances weirdly, like on the corner of like one of the legs. It's like, oh, he could have landed anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Aye.
So I'm starting to get like, I don't know if stressed would be the right word, but like as Crazy Crusher grabs the ladder on the outside, I said to myself, oh god, now what? First of all, he just swings the ladder at Hellstorm's back. It gets no reaction, but it looked like nasty.
Yeah.
I guess that's a side effect of matches like these, when you do something like less spectacular, but it's still really painful.
Give an insight into what the crowd is like here. Like, what's the crowd noise like, you know? Because I feel like it is quite unique. To me, it seemed like they were kind of just having a lot of fun, rather like, you know, watching this match.
Yeah, there was a lot of please don't die, and they're very
Yes.
into the big spots. It did seem like a normal day at the office, during the sort of beginning, opening five or so minutes, But they are reacting to everything because they are fucking human. I'd already said, oh my god, but the next oh my god that I said, put that one to, shame. I high-pitched yelped that shit. Crazy Crusher, for reasons known only to himself, decides, you know what? I'm going to put this ladder around my waist while I climb to the top of the other ladder. Now, as you might fucking expect, this does not end well for him.
Doesn't work out.
It does not. Hellstorm shoves him off the ladder, and the top of the ladder that's around Crazy Crusher's waist and, chest hits the mat directly. I could only imagine, his ribs just immediately fucking crumbling to dust. That's gotta be fucking awful to take that.
Yeah.
Whether it got him in the stomach or the ribs, just Jesus Christ. There's no safe way for him to land. He's just flying, and with the weight of a ladder, also, also adding to the gravity in the situation. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
This is stupid on so many levels. The complete lack of logic in Crazy Crusher's thinking in kayfabe, and then outside of kayfabe, the fucking decision to do that.
Aye.
I don't know what to say. I've been looking forward to talking about this match, but I just don't know what to say about some of this stuff.
It's a very interesting match. It's quite fun in the way that, as Eric Ritz said, it's a critic-proof match. If you were to look at this match and you think, oh, this is silly, you wouldn't doing that in legitimate athletic competition. It's just so silly that of course you fucking wouldn't. It's critic-proof, just like I said. One of the things that I really took from that piece was a part where he was talking about how they ascended beyond the whole pro wrestling structure, because you might think, oh, you took all these bumps but you've not sold them, you're just right back up. But the way that they take these bumps, and we've not even got to the biggest one yet, the way you take them is basically in the way that they're just legitimately falling into ladders and all that. So they are taking bumps when they, in their later lives, they can't turn their head to talk to someone. That's them selling this match, when they can't grip because it's fucking cold out, and their nerves are fucking shot. That's them selling the match, It's definitely something which, I think definitely destroys your expectations of pro wrestling in, I think, more ways than one.
Honestly, on a legitimate match analysis sort of perspective, I would take issue with the sloppiness when they tried to do the wheelbarrow German, the lack of logic in Crazy Crusher deciding to put a ladder around his waist and go up a ladder. But I don't know, the selling, I really don't give a fuck. Great sellers are great sellers, and they make you feel, but most people aren't great sellers, and I really don't care to watch average selling just for the fucking sake of it. I don't know. Maybe that's just my car crash based roots in wrestling.
Well, I think that the way that you sort of state match analysis sort of reveals that it's not something which applies to everything. I think because you might think that it makes no sense to wear a ladder and then climb the ladder with the ladder around your waist, so that you can then be involved in a convoluted spot where you are sat there with the ladder still around your waist and it's vertical, and then the other guy climbs the ladder so as to hit you with another ladder. None of that makes sense, but obviously neither Crusher nor Hellstorm care. And so at a certain point, if it was Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, where they do this big spot where oh my god, look at me, look at my tortured suffering, look at my art, that's one thing. But Hellstorm, he's just having fun. This is his fun, He's not trying to do anything. He's just trying to like fuck about.
Fucked up fun.
And so,
I totally, totally with what you're saying. Like, I just imagine like some epic rant like, for 45 minutes from Jim Cornette, you know. But fuck, like, what can you even say to like two people willing to do this for like what can't be more than $20? It just can't be more than $20.
yeah.
Look at these guys. Look at this indie. Like, so I'm still like in awe while they start setting up for the next spot. So it took me sort of like a while to register. Like, oh god, they're immediately doing something else really stupid. And Crazy Crusher gets bent backwards. He might legitimately no longer have a spine. Across one of the rungs of a ladder. Hellstorm, he gets halfway up the other ladder. He shouts, Brainbuster! And then, quote unquote, brainbusters the ladder onto Crazy Crusher's goddamn face.
Yeah, I like that his little French accent going, Brainbuster? It's cool.
Yeah. The French accent's obviously quite unusual for wrestling. I don't see much stuff emanating from France.
There's enough. I mean, like, Vinny Dupree and all that. And also fucking Hellstorm. Vinny Dupree and Hellstorm, they're the two representatives of France.
And Christiane the Surrealist.
Damn, the Three Musketeers. They've been assembled. The spot where basically Crusher gets, like, you know, the Homer Simpson fire extinguisher thing done to him, where, like, he just, like, you know, gets superplexed and he just, like, bends his spine wholly on, like, the top of the ladder. That was a funny spot to me, because like the whole setup to it is that okay, so first of all, like there's the ladder in the center, and then you have to have another ladder in the middle of the rungs so as to act as a bridge, which then connects to another ladder which is similarly vertical. Then this ladder is, I think, on top of a horizontal ladder that's placed on the ropes, and this is no small work. It's like, you know, Hellstorm, he can't do it by himself, so multiple refs and I think like a photographer guy, they just start helping him do it, you know, and like it's taken a while, and you know, they just like manage to set it up anyway, and then once it's all done, he just goes like, okay, give him a hand, you know, like he gets people to like clap for like having set up this fucking spot correctly, and like that there, I think, illustrates this much better than anything, because like it's just like this like stuff full of really stupid stuff, and you know, obviously it's what they want to do. There's no pretense about it. They just want to damage their bodies, you know, and so it's just like fun to them, you know. So yeah, we'll have this like nice wee thing where we set up ladders. And we'll, you know, split our spines over them, you know, and it's good. It's cool.
Yeah, the refs are holding this like structure they've made with these fucking ladders, and that's like the first that seems like to be the first thought towards safety that I've seen so far in this match. Once they hit that spot, like, pause the video, because like I knew I wasn't gonna be able to like take anything in for a couple of minutes, and I just stared at my wall with like my mouth agape for like 45 seconds. And then I kind of like buried my head in my hands, and like, I don't know, I was having like an emotional reaction to this.
Yeah, this is where I sort of thought that his ladders are quite strong. They, you know, cause each other a bunch of pain, and you can really tell that it's like painful because, well, first of all it's a ladder, but second of all, like, you know, it's not as if they're taking like the predetermined like bump style here. They're just ragdolling about because they're flinging themselves around, and
yeah,
you know,
I mean the actual landing, that's Crazy Crusher who actually takes this bump, isn't it?
Yes, in that spot, yes, he's the one who, you know, gets his spine, you know, just like fucked up.
The way he lands, and like I feel like he's got something caught. It was either like a foot or an arm in one of the rungs. So he stayed up there for like a second or two, and that just kind of like added to the craziness. It's like, oh shit, he's just like there. He's like across it, and He's still there, and then he falls off.
Yeah, it's definitely makes use of gravity. It's like, you know, the deciding factor in everything. Aye.
They must have planned it exactly like that.
Exactly like that. And then the finishing stretch is it's strange because like it features like dueling ladder recoveries. As in, like, they're both on ladders and they like push each other over, but they both like, you know, get the rope and they go ooh and like get back to a straight position. It's cool.
Yeah, and eventually Hellstorm gets caught hanging upside down in a tree of woe across the ladder. I guess that would still be a tree of woe, possibly. And Crush just grabs the belt. It was a strangely like I was thinking like, oh my god, what the fuck are they gonna do for the finish? Well, it was relatively tame, but it didn't need to be fucking a crazy thing because we've seen so much.
I suppose it is akin to, like, you know, an Onita match where so much crazy stuff happens that the finish isn't any like ceremonious thing. It's just like, you know, this has got to end somehow, you know.
Yeah. This was I've no idea how good it is. I don't fucking know, but you have to watch this, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I had all these conflicted emotions, but at the end of the day, I did love it, and I'll never.
What were the conflicting emotions?
Just all right. So like, I watch a lot of deathmatch wrestling. I've seen a lot of crazy shit. You know, my favorite match is Necro Butcher versus Smoke Show, where he takes like the power slams on his forehead. But I see Necro as like this. I don't know. He's like bulletproof or something, and all these crazy GCW guys now, like it's the same. I mean, even when someone like G-Raver gets hurt, I don't know, it's like I see them on another level, whereas these are just kind of like guys, and like they've got no real sort of notoriety to speak of, even today. This is just like a little cult thing that if you know it, you know it. And yeah, they're just fucking dying. You know, so much could have gone wrong, and there's so much margin for error. But I did love this.
There's no sort of thing of this being like, you know, them sacrificing themselves. It really just does feel like, you know, these are kids fucking about, you know. It's just that they have the resources to go really far in that capacity. Aye.
Yeah. Fuck comparing this to other wrestling matches. This is one of the craziest things I've seen in my life. Honestly, rather than actual wrestling matches I've seen, this reminded me of some shit I'd do with like my wrestling figures as a kid. all it was missing was like a roof bump, a melted stomach, and like, a couple of amputated limbs. Big ups my scorched Johnny Stamboli figure and my legless Al Snow.
That really is the comparison to make, isn't it? Just like, oh my god, he's taking up 2 ladders. Oh my god, let's superplex on the ladder. Oh my god.
Yeah. Add in a 900-degree splash from a ceiling or something, and that's
oh my god, Officer George. Oh no. Oh my god, he might be dead. No, he's back up. Oh.
I really miss having an imagination. That shit was cool, wasn't it? What happened to that stuff?
I will say, the last time because like I still have my action figures in a bin somewhere, and the last time I pulled them out was because I'd heard news that someone had done a pump handle complete shot. So just to try and figure out in my mind, I had to pull out my Hardcore Holly figure and my Billy Gunn figure just to try and figure out what the fuck that would mean logistically, and it didn't really get me anywhere, but I tried.
What are some of the good left field wrestling figures that you decided to spend money on?
I have this some of the line where it's like these like wrestling figures where you had to like you could. Okay, they were fucking monstrous. They had like this huge like torso bit that was like full of like air, right? And so you could inflate them by like, you know, holding their arms in or something like that. And so as to hide the contraptions involved, there was no guy who had like, you know, just like a torso. Everyone has like a Raw or SmackDown t-shirt which fully covered it, and it looked like really fucking weird. And as well as that, I'm looking at it right now in my bin where I have him in, and I'm thinking I do have one figure of Seamus wherein he is missing a foot. He is missing some of like his wrist, and I think his face is also messed up as well. And it's all because of Ralph.
Damn it, Ralph. All my wrestling figures was like missing parts, inflicted by myself. I was a little demon with these.
Oh, okay, so you mutilated them.
Yeah.
I see. Right. I do remember that my dad tried to like, he has a habit for, opening things open, like seeing how they work and all that. But he also has a habit for not putting them back together, and that's what he did with the Furbies that my sister had. And so then for a good while, we just had like the skeleton of a Furby just like sitting around, eyes still open. It's crazy.
I would say, apart from my Johnny Stamboli figure with the melted stomach, which I personally held a lighter up to. I've got the Basham brothers. Just the fact that I thought, Mum, can you buy me the Basham brothers?
Yeah.
Like, man, that really made my mum spend money on that. And also, I've also got this funny Chris Jericho figure where it's like differently designed to most of them because it's a bit older, and it's like he's got like rubber legs instead of plastic. And I took like the plastic out of his feet somehow, so he's just got really fluffy feet, and he can't really do anything. So I kind of like destroyed that Jericho thing.
Yeah, you kind of fucked him up. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like the Billy Gunn figure that I'm thinking of, like that's his exact same. Like he's older and he's got a plastic torso. Like that is actually a feeling that I've thought of a couple times. Where like I think back to how like I would get. Okay, so I'm young enough that like when I was in my action figure buying stage, it was like the current shit, Mattel and like fucking Elite like series, big articulation and all that. And I used to like fucking get my dads to go to Forbidden Planet and like spend like £30 on a Cesaro figure. And I just think back like, why don't you do that?
We really needed this shit so bad. Like WWE just had us. Like, even if I would been like online saying WWE sucks, TNA is the best, I'm still like fucking buying all their figures, buying the Bashams.
Buying the Bashams. I will say there was this one time where I had when I was really young in primary school, I had this friend called Joseph, and I went over to his house one time. And it wasn't for his birthday. I was intending to go over to his... Okay, yeah, it was for his birthday, actually, because my mum thought that I should go get him something. So we went to the shops, went to one of the shopping centres, and we got this fucking 2-pack of the Dudley Boys. And this is 2004, so it was them in that like fucking yellow get-up. And so,
I think I got those figures as well.
Oh man, I'm jealous of you because look, they were in the car. Like we were driving back, and I was like, I don't want the Dudleys. And she was like, no, it's for your friend Joseph. It's like I hate Joseph, and so I was very resentful towards him for this whole thing. I think that year I might have actually on my Christmas list I wrote to Santa, I would also like those Dudley action figures I was denied.
I had a weird thing where I would like start hating wrestlers that my friend Andre had as figures that I didn't. It's like, oh, you got Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
you got a Jeff Hardy. I hate Jeff Hardy. Oh, you got fucking Goldberg. I hate Goldberg. I hadn't even fucking seen Goldberg because like he'd left just as I started watching wrestling. So.
Yeah. Have I ever told you about like when like me and my sister used to try and play action figures?
No.
I had one of those like little things. It was like a stage. Like, would you have remembered like? Okay, did you have any action figures which on the soles of their boots they had like little metal parts?
I know what you're talking about. I don't think I had those because definitely didn't have like the stage set up, so there was like no point buying those. I might have done like some swaps or something with some other kids, and like had a couple of those in my collection.
As in like, like I had some like actual proper stage, but this is just like a like little platform that had like the okay. So the metal things that was to conform with like a wee like electronic line on panel on the stage, and when you like squish, not squish, but like you put your wrestler's foots against it, then I don't know, like their theme song would play and be like, wow, okay, cool. And then like so we had this stage, and I thought like, hey, we should try and do like we should try and do our own wrestler talk shows. And so my sister was like, okay, and then it was funny because my choice was that I would try and do this seriously. I would pick up my Ric Flair figure, who's in a suit, and I would try and hold a Flair for the gold, his legitimate WCW talk show, where I just attempted to do an actual interview. Meanwhile, my sister's up, and my sister's choice was that she picked up my Booker T figure, and her talk show was like, whoa, whoa, Booker T, whoa! And I got so mad because she was ruining the sanctity of the wrestling talk show.
Classic shit. Yeah, I didn't have a sibling, so I just had to burn my figures. Lighters, those are my friends when I was 12. And I guess they still are today.
Oh, I'm lacking sibling companionship. Better burn my figures. So, we have definitely went a far ways away from Hardcore Ninja number 1 versus Hardcore Ninja number 2.
I wish I had Hardcore Ninja figures. So
what was that?
I wish I had Hardcore Ninja figures.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we return to the world of CZW now.
Your friend Andre, he has like, your friend has the fucking nice woke Hardcore Ninja meal. You have the racist one.
Oh, I hate the woke one. He's shit. Big ups the fascist one.
So the ninjas, they came out for this interference thing, and now they're just having a match. Who knows why? Lobo, I suppose he knows. But anyway, the Hardcore Ninjas, this is the first time we get to see a shot of them. Do you like them?
I couldn't really tell off this, because it's two almost identical guys wrestling each other. So I found it difficult to get into on that basis. There's a commentary line where Hitman says, "Do they speak Japanese or Canadian?" And Gajula says, "I think they speak American."
Yeah, it's great. And then that does remind me, there is another Hitman line where, like, at a certain point, I think it's when they're sitting up a table spot, John just goes, "Why are they doing this?"
Man. Is that really the only time you're questioning why the CZW show Hitman?
You had to go to the level of Hardcore Ninjas for him to start wondering, like, start looking around. During this, they mentioned like some of the other people who are going to be in the Best of the Best too, including Super Dragon from the Epic promotion. Perhaps if we had watched this like before, we would think, "What the heck is the Epic promotion?" But now we know.
Hell yeah, it's epic.
Yes, pain and suffering.
Epic pain and suffering. The crowd, they're not shitting all over this match by any means, but it reaches a point where a big top rope dive from one of the ninjas receives like a ripple of applause rather than like an actual pop. Like they're kind of bored crowd.
I mean, like, would you say that's worse, as in like a CZW crowd shouting on you versus a CZW crowd politely indulging you? What do you say is worse?
It's tough to say. It's tough to say. You could, I guess you could make the argument that this is worse because, like, hey, I'll probably never forget that, at least that last Chris Cash versus GQ match.
Maybe Chris Cash versus GQ broke CCW and they no longer feel as if they can just like shit on stuff.
Yeah. A fan decides to yell, "Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rule!"
Wow, I didn't hear that.
It was really loud.
The crowds. What do you think's got into the crowd today? It's made them so willing to, heckle.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just like the different kind of venue.
This venue got me feeling like I'm gonna risk it all. So this match, I think it's all right. As in the Hardcore Ninjas, they're not really good at being ninjas, but they're okay at what they do. I suppose. I don't know. They were okay enough. As in, maybe if it probably would have been better as a tag match, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm not sure why they did it this way. The end of this match, there's a weird brainbuster through part of a table, and then
this is so fucked up.
Yeah.
This is so fucked up. Okay, so what they plan on doing is they set a table up and Hardcore Ninja 1, or maybe 2, Hardcore Ninja 1, I'll say, it's going to Fisherman Buster Hardcore Ninja number 2 through the table, right? Off the apron. But they massively underestimated distance. So what happens is they just land, like the guy receiving the move just like might as well just brain his head like dome first on the floor, and they snap a bit of the table off, and that's gnarly.
Yeah, it looked fun, but
yeah. Did you see the crowd's reaction? Hear it rather?
I don't think so. I've not noted anything.
You fucked up. You fucked up.
Oh.
You fucked up. Cruel timing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't think that concerns the crowd particularly, but yeah, it was. And then DJ Sick and Hellstorm, they interfere, and the match gets thrown out. I don't think you should ever have two identical looking guys wrestling each other. So
yeah, that's a good point.
That was
it's going to be hard to get into it.
That was sort of my only really summary of the match. They did some okay stuff, but it'd be nice if I knew which one was fucking which,
Yeah, sure. Overall, this sequence of 2 matches where there's no finish to either of them. Ooh, what did you think of that part of it? Like, none of these matches had finishes. They just sort of petered out after interference.
Yeah, it was strange. It was kind of a running theme throughout the show, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
As we'll get to. I would like to go to the toilet now. I will be back shortly.
Okay.
Well, I really don't give a damn.
I was sitting there drinking some water, yeah. I hadn't put my headset on, and I just heard "Down with the Sickness" coming through the headset.
I was watching a Resident Evil 4 music video. Where were we then? M-Dogg 20.
Yeah, M-Dogg 20.
Wow.
M-Dogg 20 versus Josh Prohibition. M-Dogg is also known as Matt Cross. He's a mainstay in the indies. He's kind of been there
You know
forever.
the thing I know him from?
What's that?
Tough Enough.
Oh, he was on that, was he? Oh.
Yes.
What sort of period
I
was
remember
that?
2011.
Right, okay.
Yes, I remember that Austin was the guy who was running it, and he basically said that Matt Cross was a piece of shit or something like that. I don't know, something like, like, oh, you're not motivated enough, something like that. And so he did not get he had to get stripped of his Tough Enough championship, So, unfortunate. And that's basically the only thing I've heard of him from. As in, like, obviously I've heard of him as an indie guy, but I really have no idea of him. Like, you would have known him, right?
Yeah, I've seen him mostly recently. I saw him on the only full House of Hardcore show that I've ever watched.
Oh, interesting.
Some other places.
He's Son of Havoc, isn't he?
I believe I've not like watched more than a few bits of Lucha Underground, but I believe that's his name.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I've got the impression is that, like, I don't know, Tough Enough, it seemed as if, like, he was the guy who people more liked him because he was indie, more because he was Matt Cross. Is that an unfair thing to say, do you think? Because that's what I sort of felt.
I don't know. I don't really know anything about the 2011 series of Tough Enough because I wasn't paying any attention to wrestling at this point. Is that the series that Austin Aries was like meant to be on, but wasn't?
Yes, it was. I think because he debuted for TNA re-debuted for TNA that year, and I'm pretty sure it was like meant to be a thing like, oh, this could have been you, Tough Enough, but now it's TNA. M-Dogg 20, he comes here today. What do you think the 20 stands for? Do you know?
No, I have no idea. I also don't particularly... Well, okay, M-Dogg would be like, because his name's Matt, which begins with an M. He's the M-Dogg.
Yeah. And then 20, well, who knows? But I know what Josh stands for. He stands for teetotalness because he's Prohibition. Both these guys with, M-Dogg 20 looks a bit like fucking geeky, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks quite awkward coming out, and he doesn't know how hard he should dance to Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Yeah, it's quite awkward.
He's not even out of Compton either. Why did you choose that? He's not out of Compton. He's out of Ohio.
Absolutely not. That feels like such a cutting thing that you could say to him. You're from Ohio, Matt. But yeah, both these guys just not making the strongest impression visually. And then we get to this match, and I didn't really like this match. What about you?
I thought it was okay actually. Like it was mainly a showcase of what M-Dogg can do. So he shows off,
And were you impressed with what M-Dogg could do?
He does some like dazzling athletic things. He doesn't have a good look in any sort of way. He's got like a perm that's making him look like Kenny Omega, and like tracksuit bottoms with one leg sort of halfway rolled up. It's like very training school.
The first thing to really note from this match is that like M-Dogg 20, he will go for a dive while Josh Prohibition's on the outside, and then he'll just fucking feint it. He'll fake diving out, and then after that he'll point to his head so as to say that he was smart for having done that. He's like psyched out his opponent, and then John House is confused by it, and so Eric just goes, psychology. Look at him point to his head, psychology. And so that's what I'm just gonna say. Like in every single wrestling match I ever see now. That's
wrestling psychology for you. Just summed up in a neat package. You just point to your head. That's doing a psychology.
Stop doing a psychology to me.
So he hits a couple of dives. M-Dogg does. He takes flight with a somersault to the outside. Gargiulo says, "Did you see M-Dogg fly?" And Hitman says, "Oh, I seen it."
I seen it. Can't remember what reference to a movie that is, but yeah, he does it. I seen it. I have to ask you, the Rikishi bump. You know what it is, right? You know what I'm talking about.
You mean the big one in the Hell in a Cell?
No. I mean, as in like the bump that Rikishi takes off of a clothesline.
Oh right, yeah.
Right. When you see a guy of Josh Prohibition's size and a guy of M-Dogg 20's size, well, that's a bit redundant, they're both the same size really, and they do this lariat where one of the guys just like does that Rikishi bump of turning inside out, at this guy who like has like a bicep that's as big as mine, and I'm pretty small. You know, how do you feel about that?
I didn't really have any thoughts on it.
Not specifically of this case, but just like generally, like I don't know.
You mean
just
just generally the bump itself?
yeah, so like the idea of the bump, specifically when it's like, you know, preserving it, even if like the guy isn't like a huge fucking slab of meat, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it looks, you know, it adds to it. It looks great. Sometimes it's like, did you really need to do that for this guy? So
Yeah,
I guess I get
yeah.
what you're saying here. You thought that was an example
but
of this
like,
here.
I thought it was an example of this here because, like, you know, there'll be like example in like either it'd either be a match before or a match after it where, like, you know, a guy just like does a lariat and like he's a small guy, but you know, getting like a bicep in your face would still hurt, and just like going down feels so much more effective than like doing a full inside out thing, because then like when you're doing inside out thing is almost like, unless like it really warrants it, you know, like the original like Rock doing it to Rikishi thing where it's like, whoa, what happened there, you know, when it's not like that, it just feels Ziggler-esque and like, oh, look at me, I am bumping. you know.
Yeah. M-Dogg has a unique way of doing the tarantula, but I can't actually remember this. So can you remember it?
Well, the word I wouldn't use would be, I wouldn't use unique, I'd say shit. It wasn't a very good tarantula, but I support like that he did it in the first place, I suppose.
What did he do to? Because he did something different to go into it. I just can't remember what he did.
Well, it's more like because Tajiri, he like, you know, hooks the legs so he's effectively doing a Boston Crab. Well, like, you know, his legs are hooking the arms so as to, you know, cause the tanglement. You know, meanwhile, M-Dogg, he just sort of like pulls on them, you know, and like it looks a bit crappier. Yeah, as I say, like it's good to do tarantulas generally, but you know.
It's no Ian Rantula.
It's no Ian Rantula. I hope we see that again during Locked
me
and Loaded.
too. I hope to see it during Locked and then Loaded.
Locked and or Loaded can't come soon enough. They make a point about like Lobo here. I think John says something about how Lobo is a great like leader, and then Eric says that already CZW has lost investors, and now the food is cold in our concession stands.
The food is cold. How many investors do you think 2002 CZW had to lose?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who exactly that could be. I'm imagining like Frank Talent, just being like, I don't know about this anymore, Lobo. I think I got a pull. And then Lobo's just like, yeah, okay. So yeah, we get it revealed here that in Lobo's mad dash for Loboism, that vision of his, he's neglected to pay for the gas bill. So, you know,
Yeah, can't cook any food.
Can't cook any food. He just gets like it's so sad. He just goes to the 101 and he gets like some of those like ready-made chicken burgers. Doesn't even cook them in the microwave because we don't have gas. So just what a sad state that Loboism is. But then we get to the rest of this match where, do you like the Death from Above?
It's some corkscrew shit. I don't know.
This M-Dogg 20, if I was Lobo, I wouldn't be booking him. He didn't impress me. No.
He did impress Gargiulo though. He says, I think somebody just booked their place in Best of the Best too.
I think that someone is you, Eric.
Man, imagine if Eric wasn't booked for Best of the Best too.
What weight do you think Eric Gargiulo is?
I haven't seen like his him standing up much like to gauge. I guess now would be a good time to have a look at the Camel Clutch blog. Regular feature every time he commentates a show. It might be nothing interesting. Oh wait, it looks like he's caused some controversy. What's going on?
Uh-oh.
well, I say
Eric?
controversy. There's a post here that says, "Some of you are so quick to defend the NWA program that you have completely missed my point. My tweet had nothing to do with the show. Well, a referendum on Twitter being only a microcosm of pro wrestling's audience. That's it."
You know what? That is Eric Gargiulo. Absolutely. I could imagine him saying that. A microcosm.
Right, let's see what he actually said about the NWA. Yeah, by controversial, I mean 5 people replied to him.
Yes. Eric is unpopular on Twitter.
Yeah. Counter Clutch blog, it's not taken off like the What Culture. The What Culture, I don't like that shit, but they're, killing it or whatever. Camel Clutch blog, not so much. Yeah, he wrote, "This isn't meant as a criticism of the NWA. I'm seeing a lot of tweets praising their TV, yet I see 321,000 views. Point being, it's a great example of the wrestling talk on Twitter representing a small, hardcore segment and nowhere close to what the majority of wrestling fans are feeling." He just put R instead of A-R-E.
Excuse me, Billy Corgan.
Like, why is he making this point? Like, yes, some people, a lot of wrestling fans tuned into the NWA show and enjoyed it. Like, nobody said it was a fucking competition to AEW and WWE now. Like, it's also 321,000 views doesn't sound that bad for what it fucking is. Like,
Yes.
like people responding positively to the NWA show is like, man, that's the Billy Corgan project that features like Bram and Magnus is getting positive reviews from like people I generally think have decent taste. And
Yeah.
so like,
yeah.
who would have thought it? I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably check it out, but it seems like a resounding success to me. It got anything at all.
Yeah.
Like, who would have imagined? It's fucking NWA in 2019. Come on, Eric.
Yeah, it's great. Aaron Stevens, Bram, they're all here. The NWA.
Oh, Aaron Stevens.
You
I didn't know.
you ask why would he make this point? As if think about it. What else is Eric Gargiulo going to do with his life?
I mean, we could have got him back in the world. Everyone would listen to our interview and be like, "Eric Gargiulo, we need to do something with this guy. He deserves a job in wrestling again." We'd do that single-handedly.
We should have asked Deej about Eric Gargiulo. I'm sure you'd know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Okay, so what was the fucking finish of?
They're from above the corkscrew thingy.
So, like, summary of this from my point of view was that it was fine. I haven't seen a huge amount of Cross. I've mostly seen him in the modern day. So to see him here as like a fresh new entity in CZW was quite fun to me. But I guess you are more you are less positive on this match.
Yeah, maybe he will impress more in Best ofs at best, but I don't know. Seems like he's I don't even know the guy. I don't even know if he has like a peak period where he like gets really good. I just like he might just be shit forever. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. He seems quite capable in the 2010s, but just kind of like, oh, okay, he's athletic. There's not that much else to say, But I didn't mind this match.
Yeah.
After the match, the Backseat Boys, they come out and they beat up Prohibition and M-Dogg, and they give them both T gimmicks.
Why, boys? Why?
'Cause they fucking felt like it.
Wow.
So, we move on now to something definitely the best match on the show, in my opinion.
I agree.
Iron Man title is on the line. Adam Flash, the current champion, against Rocos.
So, Lobo comes out, he introduces Adam Flash, and then here comes Ruckus, and this match here is it'll be for the Iron Man title, but it has bigger stipulations at stake, because if Ruckus wins, Lobo says, then he will be in the best of the best.
Yeah, first of all, commentary says Ruckus can do all these high flying and hard hitting, but this is the Iron Man division. Can he swing a chair? So that's what that's what the Iron Man division is about. Apparently, seems quite similar to like the heavyweight division and also the junior heavyweight division.
Yeah, like the thing that I saw was that it seemed that like they were saying, you know, this point where they're crowd brawling and they're like, oh, Adam Flash is the Iron Man champion. We'll be very used to this, and so maybe that's sort of like it's still very vague, but at least it gives like, you know, at least try to explain it a bit more.
Loco comes out. He essentially calls Ruckus a fatty. He says, "You look more like 3 junior heavyweights." So naturally, what he does, he says, if Ruckus wins this match, he'll be in Best of the Best 2, aka his junior heavyweight tournament.
Yeah, Lobo is a genius.
He sure is. He gave him this opportunity.
Yeah, so then we get to this match here, and it's fucking crazy from the get-go, because like a razzle dazzle, it gets countered to German, and then like then pretty like quickly, Adam Flash like gets a chair into the ring. Ruckus dodges the chair shot, and then he mule kicks Adam Flash in the ass, and that's pretty cool. Then Ruckus gets a chair, and he just brains Adam Flash with it. Then he brains him again, and both times Adam Flash is just like a zombie, just sort of like standing there still. And then, you know, the third time that he finally goes down, you know, that's the sign of an Iron Man, you know, which you just have to be.
Ruckus delivers his hardest spinning chair shot, and it owns. The Poetic Ruckus, did it change? There's a front flip in this. I don't remember that from last time.
I'm pretty sure it was a front flip last time. Aye.
Yeah, so it's a front flip coast to coast.
Front flip coast to coast. That makes it poetic.
Yeah, it was very poetic.
Adam Flash is bleeding. It's a really good cut. Just like lovely blood pouring from his cuts. I love it. And Ruckus, he's going crazy. He's fucking snapped. There's something about Adam Flash, something about the Iron Man division, the taste of blood it's given him, that's made him go fucking nuts. And so you get to this nice crowd brawl where, like, you know, they start banging each other against the brick walls. They're going through like all these chairs, and I think they might go past Eric and John at one point, but I never see them in the shots, so I don't know where the hell they're meant to be. But they just like go around like all this stuff. It's if you like crowd brawling and you love, like, you know, like dragging people around and like just doing a bunch of shit, it's cool. And then something really fucked up happens because Adam Flash decides that Ruckus is going to go and get defenestrated. He throws him out the window. Yeah,
just this open window that I didn't notice, and then oh my god, Ruckus is falling for it. And okay, probably safe to assume first story window, but
first story window. And he just throws him the fuck out.
We don't see how he lands, what he lands on, but it's awesome. Like, this looks great.
It's fucking awesome, yeah. And there was a like really indelible moment after this, because like that I might make the GIF for the episode, because Ruckus, he is okay. He climbs back in from the window frame, and then like Adam Flash is ready for him. He just like bops him with a chair on the back, right? And then, you know, the crowd's like, yeah. And so Adam Flash with like that, like he looks a bit like Naito, you know, where like his eyes always look sort of like, you know, as if like they're really concerned. He has that wrestling face, and like he's fucking bloody as shit, and he just like goes, yeah. And it looks really cool to me. So that might be the GF for the episode. Who knows? And yeah, this match was just like a really fucking another like notch in the legacy of Adam Flash, because this was fucking great. Yeah,
absolutely. Probably the best Ruckus match we've seen so far as well.
Aye, definitely.
We've been fond of him, but he hasn't necessarily pulled out a great match yet, and this was great. There's a commentary exchange. Hitman, he really hates that Ruckus is fat. He says, something has to be done about Ruckus. I'm going to file a complaint. I don't care how fat you are. If your stomach hangs over your pants, you're too fat. So he does care.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that when I heard it. It's just like, You know, he's man's breaking again. He's too mad about Rocket's being fat. But yeah, the thing is, this is such a good match that I don't even care that there's no finish.
Me neither, and also I thought it was, as far as, you know, screwy finishes go, I thought it was pretty decent. Like, okay, let's ignore the fact that Lobo gave this opportunity to the guy only to snatch it away. It's where the Ruckus hits a 450 on a deadlocking Adam Flash. Like, this is surely gonna be, This is surely going to be the win. Goes for the cover, but the bell rings on the 2 count. Lobo says, "It's time limit draw." So sure, he gave Ruckus this opportunity to only to, you know, snatch it away. Well, you could say there's a logic hole there, but I thought it was a pretty good screwy finish today. This phantom time limit draw. It's like, this match has a 8-minute 47-second time limit.
Yeah, aye. Lowe's just sitting there for a stopwatch, like, okay. That's it. 8 minutes 47. Ding ding. Eric is really mad about this. Like, he just like remarks upon that Machiavellian ownership style of Lobo. And so, yeah, as I say, like, it's a well done enough finish, you know, where done enough non-finish rather, that like it couldn't possibly take away from this match being awesome. So
Lobo hadn't exactly been healing up like you might anticipate a guy in his role would do, but no, he's a sly little cunt, isn't he?
What's that?
He's a sly little cunt, isn't he?
He is a sly little cunt.
Crowd chants Lobo's bitch at Adam Flash. This is a great match. Go out your way to see this one.
Go your way to see this one. The Messiah doesn't show up here. I just realised that. I just thought about that because because you said that Messiah. You said that Adam Flash was Messiah's bitch, and I just thought about like last time when like when Messiah was like, "Hey asshole, why don't we do a ladder match?" And Adam Flash was like, "Okay, bitch, wait here. I'll go get a ladder." Oh, that was a really good promo.
Yeah, that's great.
So our semi-main here is it's like a rematch of last time, where in Hate Club they faced the Backseat Boys, except this time Trent Acid looks weird.
It's Steve Rives.
Steve Rives. Wow. And Johnny Cashmere. So Cashmere is presented as, you know, he's a tag team specialist. So you might see this and think, oh, Steve Rives, he's going to be the weak link here. Cashmere, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. No. Cashmere, he's been in this situation before. He knows how to navigate this sort of thing. So I suppose we are meant to think that Hate Club will lose. I don't know about that though. I think they'll win.
Godzilla says, "Look at Steve Rives. He's got the best body a noodle can produce." He's just coming out and saying it. He's just saying it.
Just saying it. Nobody's stopping him.
Rives is like more well built than the majority of the CZW guys, but like he's not so jacked that I'd like naturally leap to the conclusion that he's on dag ass. But maybe Godzilla knows something we don't.
Their gas. I noticed that John like does the thing where like, okay, so he likes the Hate Club because they are heels, right? But he also likes the Trent Acid group because they are heels. So Nick Gage starts beating Steve up a lot, and John goes, "Ha ha!" You know, like he usually does when a heel does something, and then he just goes, "Wait a minute." He's confused. So there's a really funny thing that Eric does, because he's just, you know, you're right, Eva, he's just coming out and saying stuff. No filter, Eric Gargiulo, because it's noted by John that Johnny Cashmere was the first ever BGW Junior Champion, right? And Eric goes, "Well, whoop-de-doo-da. That night I said to go get a cup of coffee down the street." Whoop-de-doo-da.
Man, I didn't even catch that. That's amazing.
What drives this man?
Hating the NWA. Hating Batman reboots.
Oh, NW Power got 300,000 views on YouTube. Whoopity-doo-dah.
Oh, so they're rebooting Batman? Whoopity-doo-dah.
Maybe one day soon all our jokes will just become us making baby noises.
So I must say, Steve Rives, he's pretty shite. In fairness to the guy, he does look like, green as goose shit, as they say. When he first tagged in, he looks very lost, and he has a very shitty back kick and shitty punches.
He's pretty terrible.
Yeah, this guy, he's out of his depth here.
He's out of his depth. I agree.
Everyone else is cool.
It's weird because yeah, everyone else is cool. It's weird because when Steve Rives showed up to beat up Nick Gage with just his pain, he had his hair down and he was wearing jeans and he looked like a big monster. But now he ever since then he just looked like a Greek, and it's fucked up.
Yeah, Stricker hasn't given this guy a cage match profile, so I'm gonna guess he won't stick around long.
Oh, that's sad.
Is it?
Trigger saw Steve Rives and thought, there could only be one ponytail in this town.
Steve Rives, you can suck that dick. I will not give you a profile. You piece of shit.
I am thinking of the Vic Sphere group pic with there's Alan Cheap Shots there too and Stringer's there and he's doing thumbs up. That's all I can see in my head when you say sarcastic. Stringer. So this match, it's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, on the whole, Steve Rives shit, everyone else is cool, so 3 out of 4.
Yeah. It they fuck up the finish, but it's funny, because it's probably Steve Rives' fault, to be honest. The hate clubs are going to do their big double team move for a table, and then Steve Rives he just doesn't go for a table, he just falls to the side. So Nate Hatred, he has to just quickly powerbomb him through the table, and that's cool enough. So pins him there, and damn, the hate club are strong again. And VD, they better watch out.
Yep, I would say out of all the people in this match, Nate Hatred is the one who most wants the smoke.
What sort of diss post would what sort of post would this make about Nate Hatred, do you think?
Here comes Nate Hatred. Hatred throttling these fools. Hatred murking.
This Hurricane Kid vs. Tailboy match was getting something good. But oh no, here comes Nate Hatred. Murking them.
What if we just reformatted our podcast so we just cover a show entirely in Deuce Twist?
It's just some sort of fucking pen pal thing, except it's us writing in Deuce voice. Oh my god.
I just want to point out that at one point, Gage, he hits the Altani boot scrape out of nowhere, and it looks really cool. Gargula says, "Nobody in the business does it better than Nick Gage." Well, there is that one guy, Eric. There is that one guy.
Yeah, that one guy that Nick Gage idolizes.
Yeah.
I did like the thing that Eric said before that, where he calls him, I said, he just says, "Here comes the foot." So great stuff. So,
another great card. Kashmir takes sort of delayed brainbuster in a chair, Hitman says, "What's he trying to do, Eric? That's Johnny Cashmere." Gajo just says, "I know."
Yeah. Just like maybe there's a point where Eric, used to get mad at John, but now he just like views him with contempt. Yeah, I know it is Johnny Cashmere. Stupid.
So like, yeah, after their botch where I don't know, something fucks up and Rives like lands on his head. Gage lands completely on the table, which doesn't break. Hatred then gives Rives a powerbomb through part of the table. Like the table stays upright, and only like a hole like the size of the upper half of Rives falls from the table. I've never seen
this was cool.
I've never seen like one happen quite like that before.
Me neither. I think that more should happen like that. That looks fucking gnarly. I like it. Yeah. So, yeah. Once again, Nate Hatred murks the fools. He's gotten revenge on the guy who attempted to murk Nick Gage, but it didn't work. Your murk didn't work at all. So, yeah, happy time for all. And Johnny Cashmere, well, he's not lost anything in this match, but, now the spotlight turns to him, because who knows what role he will play in the main event.
Yeah.
I sure don't know, Eva.
Yeah, this one took me on a journey of sorts. Our main event for the CZW World Heavyweight title. Justice Payne, of course, the current champion. Jerry Lynn nowhere to be seen. Versus Trent Acid.
Yeah, Trent Acid, who, comes out and, is really cute. He's got a nice smile. Want to kiss him and whatnot. And then he presents his butt to the referee Hardtog, and like he's all like, oh, okay, referee, you can go check me now. Whoa. And like just like sticks his ass out, and Hardtog is like, no, not now, Trent. Not in front of everyone. So, gets him to turn around. Justice Payne comes out, and he's like, as ever, Justice Payne. And this match, it really is a journey in some ways, because it didn't go with my expectations of it at all. Mainly, I didn't think that it would feature so much stalling.
Yeah, it was a weird first few minutes. So, the first thing they do is they go to start off with a handshake, but Justice Payne just sort of casually kicks the leg from underneath Acid, and Acid's like, "What are you playing at me?" I thought that was pretty cool. And then just like, I didn't really. They stall by getting out the ring. Justice Payne gets on the mic. He says, "Welcome to the main event." And Acid also gets out of the ring, and Payne's getting back in. They're doing a psychology here, at least according to Eric.
It's just, I don't know, I like this. It's just a weird match, because you'd think that maybe Trent Acid being the de facto fan favourite, that would come through like quite clearly, but it doesn't really until like, the latter parts of the match, I think.
Yeah.
Because like for the first part, it feels as if like he's still, I don't know, it's meant to be like worked like a heel versus heel thing. Well, I don't know, it's weird. I just know that like Justice Payne's low kicks are great. They remind me of Peter Ula from Rings.
Alright.
So Eric does bring up, okay, as I said, like they're establishing how, Justice Payne, he's been a dominant champion, he's the ace of the company. Any challenger he's had, he's turned away. And then Eric, he points out that, on that one non-title match, he did get beat by Jerry Lynn, and then, John House, to confirm what we have confirmed, he just goes, "Eric, it never happened, Eric."
Oh.
So, there you go.
I didn't
happened.
catch that. Finally, a bit of fucking clarification. Although not really, because I'm still so confused. It's still like, why that would happen, and they ignored it.
Well, I'm just ready to move past it now. I'm ready to move past it and move on to other confusing shit. Like,
yeah, like this fucking match. So, for the next few minutes, I don't really write much. Like, there's nothing like outright bad's going on. It's just like it's just some pro wrestling. Like, yeah, it's a good way to describe a lot of wrestling that just doesn't resonate in a good or bad way, like nondescript, you know.
Aye. Justice Pain does a Dragon Sleeper, and then Eric Gargiulo notes that the Dragon Sleeper was created by Tatsumi Fujinami, and he says that maybe just a little bit better than Fujinami is how you could describe Justice Pain's execution of it. And that's a very fucking, for a thing which is saying, oh, I'm doing this better than the parry and the move, that's very, like, half-hearted, I think. So then after that, like, Justice Pain goes to get chairs because he's frustrated, and like because he's a like piece of shit, he flips the table over, and so like I like Eric's reaction to this because like he sees it, he goes, "What's his problem? What's his problem?" He's like just like not having it with this guy, and there's a thing here which we'll have observed like a couple times, both in what company here, the Briscoe Civil War. And also Chris Cash versus GQ. We'll have seen this where the match is going on, and then they just sort of go, this match is an absolute classic. And I don't know, with that match I just felt very much like we were meant to say that at this point in the match, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a strange thing, because like, okay, it still wouldn't have been like appropriate to say it later on, but it's like when they start doing big spots, you know, you can probably get away with saying that, but they haven't done so much yet. It's just you know, they're just having a match. Yeah,
like I think that if it's going to be great, then like it should be on its own. Like I don't know, like sometimes obviously like with the Briscoes that sort of thing works, but I don't know, it's not something that you can just like do willy nilly. I don't think.
Yeah, all three of the promotions that we're covering at this time, they really want to tell you how good they think their stuff is. You know, we had Ian telling us that Punk vs Hero was the best match of all time, and like Ring of Honor was obsessed with like match of the year contenders. We had loads of match of the year contenders.
Right.
And
well,
now this,
Ian in particular, like Ian is the best one because like his way of doing it is just like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at your watch. You'll see that 40 minutes have elapsed. Woo! So it's great. Love these independent promotions and their stupid fucking shit. So back to this match. They go to the outside again. At this point, Eric sort of gives a psychoanalysis of Justice Pain because the whole thing is that Trent Acid and Justice Pain, they're meant to be buddies. They're meant to be cohorts, and that's why Trent Acid was quite he was reticent about going to challenge for the belt. But then Eric reasons that the belt is his only friend, Justice Pain, that is. It's the only thing that he loves. And he says he's addicted to that belt. Ever try and take a needle away from a drug addict? Just not gonna happen. It's a bit glib, Eric, I think.
Yeah, man. People can overcome demons, Eric. Why are you so cynical?
Yeah. If only he didn't leave ROH just when they're about to bring in Eddie Guerrero again, so that he could say exactly that.
Oh god.
Just I don't know if you'll have noticed this, Dad, but I noticed these two fans that I quite liked because it's two fans next to one another. One of them has a Hulkamania T-shirt, for Hulk Hogan, and the other one beside him has an NWO T-shirt. Considering that at this time Hulk Hogan would have turned face and gone against the NWO, I like to think of this as being a version of I don't know how much of the Wagner Blue Demon Jr. feud you would have seen, but there's a couple times in their matches, usually like the TV show tags and all that, where like it'll cut to these guys in the crowd. One of them's wearing a Wagner mask, the other's wearing a demon mask, and like when they see the crowd and when they see the cameras on them, they go like and start like beating each other up. And I thought of like these two Hulk Hogan guys being the same. So yeah.
That's great. So what happens now?
What happens now is that Justice Pain goes for the blockbuster and he fucks it up. So he basically does a top rope shoulder block, and he kind of he highs his shoulder, you know. So it's great.
I like that. That's just
and then
that's just a term that we're going to use now. Is
this our Merc? Ooh, what is BTD again? I wrote it down as a abbreviation of a move, but I'm not sure what it is.
It's a Blue Thunder bomb, which Gargiulo calls the Blue Thunder driver for a table.
Blue Thunder driver. And Trent Acid fucking Blue Thunder drives him into a table, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, at this point it starts ramping up a bit more, and I'm getting more into it. Acid calls for chairs from the crowd. This time, nobody hops the guardrail and offers themselves up. Use me!
Well, you know what? They don't do that, but I think that this is another example of why you can't trust CZW fans with fucking doing anything, because the guy from the chair in the ring, he like holds the chair out, and like Travis could go over and just like grab it from him, right, from where he's at, but then he says, "I will throw the chair into the ring," and what he does, he throws the chair in, and it gets caught up in the ropes, and it falls outside the ring. Why the fuck did you throw it?
I was thinking that. Could have just slid it onto the bottom rope.
No, we need to be like the wrestlers. Fucking throw it on the top rope like a maniac. So yeah, another really nice, gnarly headshots, you know?
Oh,
just,
yeah.
like, amazing shit. Breaks a chair, you know?
Yeah, chair's all sorts of mangled now. Justice Pain, he probably forgot how to do multiplication or some shit, like just from this.
Yeah, like there's a couple of people who, like, you know, with like certain stuff, like, you know, maybe problematic stuff, they'll, like, you know, keep, like, you know, saying certain words, but they'll always just go like, "Oh, I know I'm not supposed to say that." Well, guess what? My equivalent to this is that I'm just going to keep saying that chair headshots are fucking amazing, but I'm also going to be like, "Oh no, it's not PC these days."
I mean, I'm obviously with you. You know, gets a kick out of me.
Eva, cancel culture is just getting too much. All I want to do is cancel our own ability to remember our mother's faces. So then with the other chairs there in the ring, because there's like 6 of them, Trent Acid is trying to do some stuff, but then Justice Pain, you know, counters by, he eventually just does a belly to belly onto the chairs, and that's pretty cool.
Yep, that was a nice spot. So often it goes that the person who sets up the sort of thing takes the move onto it.
Yeah, it's too true. It's I need to look this up now. What was the original instance of being hoisted by one's own petard? What is petard? Let's see here. Hoist. A petard is a small bomb from France. So, yeah. So, okay, that leaves no space for Greek tragedy comparisons, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, a bunch of kickouts happen after this.
They do. They got some Justice Pain with the Pain Thriller. Acid's bump looks really nice. And it's good near fall. Acid with a typically good Yakuza kick gets another good near fall. Crowd chant one more time, and it looks like Acid's going to go for it. But then the Quebec New Breed and the Hardcore Ninjas run out and attack Acid. They attack Justice Pain too, but mostly Acid.
And like the hour since their match, they've really like gotten to know one another. You know, they've had a beer for one another, and they're friends now. So they're like, hey, let's run it on this main event.
What we're told is that they're trying to take out Acid and weaken him for best of the best too. But Kashmir comes out with
that makes sense.
Kashmir comes out with a baseball bat. Justice Pain and attacks them too. They cleared them out of the ring together.
Yeah. And then, like, Johnny Cashmere, he cuts this big promo about, like, who do you think you are coming to CZW? You know, wow, it's like CZW faithful guy. It's Johnny Cashmere. And then, effectively, they're like, oh, that match was so good. Please, Justice Payne and Trent Acid, can you please finish the match? And then soon they're like, no. So, this is how
they're
it
like,
ends.
yeah. And then, they fucking hug each other. Another ruse.
Aye. It was a swerve.
Jesus fucking wept. Why do they like this thing so much?
No, okay, wait a
They just beat
second.
each other up.
Is this meant to be that from the start this was their plan? Or is it meant to be that in light of this interference they've decided there is no worth to us fighting anymore? What do you think?
I don't fucking know. My brain just melted at this. Like, none of this made a lick of, like, goddamn sense to me. And I just thought to, like, the opening pro as well, like, is Lobo, like, also doing a ruse? Like, is he just doing this as a big ruse? Is everything a ruse now?
Is pro wrestling itself a ruse?
If I found out something to that effect, I would lose my shit.
Oh man, but yeah, so CCW, you know, recently I watched my first ever Oz Academy show. Have you ever watched Oz Academy?
I saw that Aja Kong Shida match from last year. I think that's it.
Okay, that's not representative at all of Oz Academy, because Oz
Right.
Academy is full of a bunch of fucking bullshit, because it's just like, you know, all the possible like interference and like, you know, weaponry and stuff like that. It's just like all this sort of utter bullshit, which like, you know, I remember I remember seeing a Mort tweet where he went where he went to Japan and he went to Oz Academy show and he said, "Oh, this is definitely the least favorite show of my trip because I just could not get into the interference and whatnot." But I'll tell you something. See, when you just go all in on bullshit and just like are very unapologetic about it, that's when it gets really good. And so I think this is where CCW excels because none of this shit means anything, but they're just like really all in on it, so it works somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's fun to watch even when it's like mind-numbing and maddening, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas you know,
like, yeah,
Ring of Honor.
I wish Ring of Honor had some like fucking swerves in it.
Yeah, a bit of chicanery maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a thing where like I don't know, like I think that in pro wrestling, bad bullshit stuff, which like sort of like makes you really think that there is no meaning to anything. I said like you know, something like, you know, some sort of like Russo angle, so like that, where they're just like, oh, I am following the script, you know, and it's like, okay, why am I watching you go through this like thing that you said is fake? Then, you know, like actually making you think, why am I watching this? But like good bullshit stuff, which is like you get so fucking just caught up in it, you don't have any time to even contemplate it. Your brain is just melted. So, Lobo, you are a real Mayumi Ozaki.
2 peas in a pod, those
So, absolutely.
So we do
so-
get a brief segment after the credits graphic shows. It's just Prohibition and M-Dogg 20. They come out to challenge the Backseat Boys for the next show. I think it was the next show anyway.
Aye. Yeah, like him and Josh Prohibition would be like, oh, we wrestle a good match, and I don't know. Meanwhile, you do this bullshit. Hey, come on. So, whatever. That's cool.
The Backseat Boys come out. Acid says, "Shut up, shut up." We almost didn't get one on this show.
We almost didn't get it. I was going to say that. Yeah.
I'll be sad when like we get a "shut up" on this show.
Shit up this.
So I can't really hear like most of this promo, but
But I suppose we get
some
the
stuff
sentiment.
is said. before Prohibition hit dives on the Backstreet Boys, and then Backstreet Boys don't really like sell that at all. They just kind of get up and start brawling for the remainder of the show while some new metal track plays. So cool.
Yeah, I wonder how the fans would have felt, as in like they didn't get a finish to their main event title match, and now the last thing you see is some guy called Josh Prohibition brawling around.
Yeah, in a like 45-second brawl.
I
That's
do
Loco
wonder how
sending
long
the
it
crowd
went.
happy.
Like, do you think it's like one of those things where like you know, I would have heard stories about like like Chris Jericho when he gets knocked out, he just lies there until like all the fans are away before he goes away just to really sell it, you know? Do you think it's the thing where, you know, Trent Acid and like M-Dogg 20, he just kept rolling, and then like, you know, they kept looking around and like, oh, there's still two guys there. Okay, I hope so.
Yeah.
So, CZW, Process of Elimination. What did you think of the show overall then?
It was, on the whole, I'd say okay. It felt like very different, partly because of the venue, but yeah, it did feel like a sort of a differently approached show with like lots of strange new names.
I see. I thought it was a very good show. Obviously, like there was stuff which was like bad, but you know, I think like, you know, with CZW shows, like there often is that sort of thing. You know, if I had a nice streak of like shows where there's not that much of it, but sometimes there is, and oh well, because the good stuff makes it worth it, and the good stuff, like, you know, I think we've really managed to. You know, if the more shows we've done, we're able to like figure out like who's like the consistent hard hitters.
Yeah.
You know, Adam Flash is definitely one of them. The Messiah is one of them. I hope he's like, you know, don't tell me, but I hope he's. I hope that he comes back soon. Oh wait, yeah, it would actually, yeah. But anyway, yeah, just like a bunch of guys who, you know, we can count on to produce some like very good shit, and yeah, I have no idea what like the next show is going to hold for characters such as such as Justice Payne or the Lobo Junior Heavyweight Invitational. The very concept of the name, who knows? But
the next shows we'll be covering are IWA Mid-South Locked and Loaded. Two separate shows there. The next CZW show will be after that. It's High Stakes, just in between Best of the Best 2. So, plenty coming up.
Plenty coming up. Okay, so it's time for like my spreadsheet opinions on this show, so as to summarize the previous 2 minutes of talking I just did. Okay, here we go. Okay, wait. Oh. I'm going to the sixth picture. Whoa. And then, special thing for Hailstorm versus Crusher.
Wow.
There we go. There we are. That's episode.